Change is not always this big grand thing like quitting your job or moving countries or going back to school. Sometimes it's the little moments that define our lives. Are you searching for your purpose and perhaps feeling overwhelmed? If you are, let's take a moment right here to put our hand on our hearts and breathe. My invitation to you this week is to be present and find your meaning in the here and the now. We often get caught up in the elusive quest for a grand life purpose, forgetting that life's true essence often lies in the smaller, sometimes more fleeting moments. Today I'm talking about how spending years trying to find your big why could actually be keeping you from enjoying a happy, fulfilled life. Let's get started, shall we? Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we? Finding your life purpose can rob you of your happiness. So many experts tell us to find fulfillment, we must find our life's purpose, our big why. But what if investing all that time searching for your life's purpose is actually getting in the way of being in your joy right now, in this moment? I see so many people spending time buying courses, doing meditations, all in a quest to uncover their life purpose. They wrestle with the big questions. Why am I here? They ask themselves this question 7 times because that's what the experts tell us to do. Yep, I've done it too. They spend days paralyzed in the analysis of, what am I meant to be doing? In the meantime, while we spend all that time gazing at our navel and trying to work out why we're here and what our big purpose is, life passes us by. And before you know it, another year has gone by and we're still trying to work out what that purpose is. Finding your life purpose can be a distraction, and our mind loves those. Why? Because your mind has one overriding job, and that's to keep you safe. Your mind equates safety with you doing exactly the same thing, day in, day out. Why? Well, because then your mind can predict the future. Doing the same things repeatedly means you'll end up with the same result. And that result didn't kill you last time, so, well, we'll keep doing that. Your mind doesn't care how you feel about it. It just wants you to keep breathing and your heart to keep beating. Job done. So what happens when you do something different? You speak up in that meeting. You present that paper that you've been working hard on. Oh no. Mind can't have you stepping outside of your zone of familiarity. Thoughts will be sent. These thoughts generate feelings. These feelings generate more of the same types of thoughts, which generate more of the same types of feelings. And on it goes until you don't put your hand up to speak. You don't put out that video on social. You don't write that podcast. Instead, you're back in your zone of familiarity. Uncomfortable feelings subside and we're all good. So you didn't volunteer to present your report. Except that maybe in a parallel universe where you did present that report, your boss was impressed with the presentation, so she gave you the opportunity to get involved with that dream project, which led to that dream job in that other department. Well, that didn't happen in this universe because you chose to stay in your zone of familiarity rather than do the thing that mattered most. Distraction is a really effective way of getting you to stay in your zone of familiarity. Rather than presenting that report or posting that video or talking about how you really feel, saying no maybe instead of yes, mind feeds you something else to occupy yourself with. So you go down that rabbit hole, and as a result, your mind wins. You stay the same
and you buy another course on finding your life's purpose. What if, instead of finding your giant big purpose, what if your life was actually made up of a lot of little moments of purpose? What if your purpose changed day by day, moment by moment, based on who you were being in that moment? Or maybe it's based on who you were with, what you were doing. What if there isn't this big grand purpose? What if you're here to experience life, to live, to love, to grow? All of those require a different purpose, don't they? So let me invite you to spend some time, instead of searching for that big purpose, that big why, that big aha, like many of the experts encourage us to do, what if you spent some time getting to know what matters most to you? Is it having enough energy to get through the day so that when you get home you can be present with the people you love, rather than collapsing on the couch with a glass of wine and 4 hours of Netflix ahead of you? Too exhausted to connect with somebody that you really care about. What if you made your purpose connecting with that special someone when you got home? Or what if you made your purpose looking after your body, like an athlete looks after their body, so that you have not just enough energy to get to the end of the day, but through the day and into the night? What if your purpose was just giving someone an encouraging smile, cheering someone on, listening to your mum or your dad, being there for someone in need? What if that was your purpose? You know, we can make a real difference in this world, moment by moment. In the words of author and coach Tony Robbins, most people overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 2 or 3 decades. So it's not about having the big plan. It's not about launching the big business. It's about being present. It's about loving yourself as well as others. It's about connecting. And it's about knowing what matters most to you, moment by moment, and trusting that sometimes that will change. So if you're with me on this, if you're ready to live your purpose moment by moment, spend some time working out what matters most to you. What are those things that if you managed to do them each day or each week, you'd come to the end of the week and you'd say, you know what? I had a great week this week. Do you know why you had a great week? It was because you had a great day, and then you had another, and another, and then another great day. Before you know it, a great week. Do you know what makes a great day? You had a great hour, and then you had another great hour. You had more great hours in that day than not so great hours, and the sum total is a fabulous day. I wonder, when we're taking our last breath on this earth, will we be reminiscing on the stuff we did, the accolades we received, or will we be reminiscing on what we experienced, those special people in our lives, the amazing conversations that we had, the sunrises that we saw? What determines the quality of your life? I'd like to think that when I look back on my life, it's the overall feeling when I look back on my life that will bring. And that overall feeling is created moment by moment. What if life was just that simple? Imagine all the energy it would free up in our lives if we spent less time worrying about our big purpose and more time just doing those little things that matter. Here's to curating a life well lived by finding your purpose moment by moment. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.